Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. Sorry for that delay. I couldn't get the lights or the TV to come on in here. I trust I'm getting out to you here. I see I'm on Facebook, so we've got that going for us. Anyway, this is the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9:03, and I'm glad you're here tonight. If you have questions, comments, you can put them on the 14 News Facebook page comment section, and we will check those in just a couple minutes. Kind of a snoozer here with the weather this week, which is a good thing. We've certainly been through enough drama here over the last 3 weeks or so. It's going to be muggy overnight with some patchy fog and temperatures falling into the 70s, and then 90s with humidity returning through the week, maybe an isolated or pop-up shower or thunderstorm possible each day, but overall the coverage for rainfall is going to be very, very slim. No rain in the tri-state now. We had some showers down here in Webster and Union County a little while ago. Those are all moving to the south, being driven out basically by the motion around low pressure, which is now well to our east, out around Tri-Cities there, Bristol, Tennessee. And so the circulation actually has winds coming out of the northeast. There's no thunderstorm risk, at least not a significant one for any days here in the next several, and that's a good thing. We're not expecting it. As high pressure builds in, that tends to kind of level everything out and settle the atmosphere. So you're not going to see much in the way of cloud cover, and certainly no rain coming up for the next few days. We certainly had our share, especially if you're watching Western Kentucky. Just one round of storms after another. We had flooding in Muhlenberg and Hopkins counties again. North of the Ohio River, not so much. I think I'll show you the numbers here in a minute. We're at 78 degrees. Around the tri-state, we have temperatures between 75 and 80. And our feels like temperatures also pretty close to the actual there at this time of night. We got down to 72 this morning, and that's the one thing with it being this humid. It's not going to cool off much at night. 72 is not bad, but it'll be kind of a muggy 72. And then today we were at 87 again. I think we hit 87 also on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. No, 86. Okay, so we are at least going to stay in the 80s again tomorrow, and then we will punch back up into the 90s next week. Now at Evansville Regional Airport, we only picked up 1/10 of an inch Friday night, and then about another third on Saturday, and a couple more hundredths on Sunday. So pretty paltry rainfall here. In fact, for the month at the airport, we're about 1 1/10 below normal. Now, like I said, Western Kentucky, not so much. You've had nearly a month's worth of rain in some parts there in the last 4 or 5 days. It'll be sunny and humid tomorrow, temperatures in the upper 80s. That weather disturbance is now moving into western North Carolina. You can see how the showers are kind of rotating around that low, and as it pushes on out, it'll take all the cloud cover and rainfall with it. And so as we look at the hour by hour, there really isn't anything moving in our way other than high pressure and northerly winds, at least for the first part of the week, which usually will knock the humidity down a bit. Unfortunately, with the ground being so wet, when the sun gets on it, we get a lot of humidity at the ground level. We should return to the 90s by Tuesday and stay in the low 90s then for the remainder of the week. And in looking at the GFS model, this is only indicating scattered thunderstorms on Thursday and Friday, and those will be driven by the heat of the day. So mainly afternoon and early evening showers if we get any. And rain potential is not too impressive there. It wouldn't be with scattered showers anyway, other than the people that get the rain. On the European model, similar thing here, scattered afternoon thunderstorms. The probabilities are showing up there in the green, and that will stay through the weekend next week. Each day, maybe a pop-up or two, but probably not. It's one of those situations, and like the GFS, the rainfall amounts are pretty modest on the European. We will drop to 69 tonight and then bounce back to 88 tomorrow. Is sunny, humid, typical July weather, and so it is for the rest of the week. We are keeping a 20% chance of rain in each day just to cover that possibility, but I'm not too concerned about widespread rainfall or anything disruptive. Temperatures and rainfall will stay near normal. There's my cats. Every now and then I put some of mine up here. That's Penelope, Bobby, and Sissy. And yeah, that's about as close as they ever get. They are not buddies. These two are buddies. These two are buddies. The girls, not so much. A lot of hissing going on. All right, let's see if we got any questions or comments here. And we'll start there with Chloe Hedge. Good evening. Glad to have you on, Chloe. Lucas Sigler, got some heavy rainfall in Providence with some thunder and lightning earlier. Yeah, that like I said, these little pop-up showers can overperform and put down locally heavy rain, but in a real small area. Carolyn Lovelace, watching from Hobstad. All right, Gibson County is nice and dry this evening, I'm fairly certain. William Raleigh, for the last 3 days, had 1/4 of an inch, 1/3 of an inch, and 1800. So not too much at the house. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way here at the station. I could probably see your house from here if I turn the weather camera over. We'll have you put a big 14 flag up one day. Darlene Ezell, we finally made it to Holiday World. Yay, turned out to be a good day. All right. Yeah, yesterday wasn't too bad. We had some storms that rolled in late in the afternoon, around between 4 and 5 here in southwest Indiana. Byron had we had a tornado warning in northern Posey County. It came down at about, I think it was about 4:45 yesterday evening. I've not read of any damage or anything from it, but it was radar indicated. Zach Seats. Any concerns for severe thunderstorms this work week? No, I don't think so. Ricky Brown's on. Jeff Miller picked 2 inches of rain. Oh yeah, but you were under the big storm, Jeff Miller, yesterday, weren't you? And you know that tornado warning was up by Harmony. It would be from Harmony State Park down toward Springfield, right up there, be southwest of, I don't have a map back there to point to, but you know where I mean, south of 66 and kind of out there by the fairgrounds and that. That was where the warning was. I don't know that a tornado actually touched down or did anything. There was rotation on the radar. I did see that. So you definitely got at least half a month's worth of rain out there yesterday. All right, what do I have for Science Corner? I got a short one tonight. I think we talked about storm mode on here before and how that is governed a lot by the setup. And so this week, about the only mode we're going to be looking at would be single cell type thunderstorms, which would, the most they can do would be heavy rain, small hail, and gusty winds. And I think those are even going to be in pretty short supply. 3 weeks, was it 3 weeks ago? Maybe it's been 4 now. Whenever Father's Day was, we had supercells. And as you know, those produce tornadoes in addition to some damaging wind gusts and that. Supercells are called that because they're big and tend to be tall and have a lot of shear in them, spin, so forth. Perfect for producing tornadoes. Typically, if they're going to produce a tornado in a normal environment, the tornado would be in the southwestern quadrant, assuming it's going that way. Now, sometimes we can have supercells where it's flipped and going the other way, depending on the overall pattern. Those are rare, but they can happen. And then linear systems, we get a lot of those here in the tri-state, lines of showers and thunderstorms. Sometimes they're not severe. In fact, it's pretty common for storms to line up in certain scenarios, typically ahead of cold fronts and things like that. But we can get embedded tornadoes with a linear or line of storms. QLCS means quasi-linear convective system. I don't know who came up with that. We need catchier names for these storm modes. And then we have the MCS, the mesoscale convective system, which is either a cluster or it can be a line or broken, segments of thunderstorms. Usually what we're looking for there is a bow echo or some kind of hint that the storm is pushing out to produce a damaging wind gust, and they can produce all the hazards too. And yes, we've had all 4, all 4 this month. I know that in the last 30 days, we've had one of each through the tri-state. So anyhow, this is, let's see, what is this, the 12th of July. So we are like right at the midpoint of summer now. We will start to noticeably lose daylight here toward the end of the month. In fact, in July, we lose about 40 minutes of daylight. Hard to believe. Your sun rises will get a little later and sets will get a little shorter. It's not really apparent, I don't think, till we get that sunset earlier than 8 o'clock. And then you're like, yeah, we're starting to lose light. But in the meantime, we have some great weather on the way this week. I hope you can get out there and enjoy it. It'll be a little hot, but not dangerously so. Hopefully it won't be rainy at anybody's house for too long if we do get showers that pop up. I think I had one other question in. Cheyenne Hammonds, is it true that tornadoes that go southeast and northwest are usually stronger? I don't know about that. I guess it would really have more to do with what the environment that created the tornado was like. If it was strongly forced, more shear, that sort of thing. If the jet stream was involved, those things tend to make the tornado stronger. Jennifer Peacock, I'm done with storms. The last big storm, lightning struck your house. Couple receptacles damaged. Yeah, that's still pretty scary. I don't want that. Nobody wants to get hit by lightning. I've had it hit pretty close myself, trees and, down the street and so on, and that's plenty. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the week ahead. I'm going to be away for a few days, so you'll have a variety. Well, it won't be a variety. It'll either be Byron or Arden. And yes, we're still trying to get that fourth position filled here, so stay tuned. In the meantime, thanks so much for your support and patience and for watching the weather show here at 9. I'll see you over on 14 News at 10. Have a good night.